time. Okay. Making sure that's showing up. Today we're looking at 6 tips to assure your website serves your ideal customer and the main way that it's different than your social media account, because they are greatly different. And today we're going to talk about those differences, how you should use your website and how you should use your social media accounts. Okay, the first tip that I want to give you is to, wait, before I go any further, I will say feel free to put any comments or questions in the comment thread below, and we will get to those at the end of our time today. First tip to making sure your website serves your ideal customer is to make it human. We're in the age of intuition, no longer the information age, the age of intuition. So people want to make an authentic, trustworthy human connection with you before there's a value exchange of their finances for your services that you're going to give them. So what I mean by make it human is put your face at the front, the top of your website. Make it be the first thing they see. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you websites of rock star idols of mine, of niche mates, of friends. This is a rock star idol. Dr. Adolph Brown is a phenomenal author, communicator, professor, speaker, and clinical psychologist. Just the list goes on. And I'm drawn into working with him immediately because of his friendly human smile. So make it human, even if you are a Christian content creator and this makes you uncomfortable because you believe how I used to believe that it's not about us. It's all about the content. It's all about the work that God's doing through us. I'm invisible. Is that belief really serving you? What if you were to own your power as a co-creator, as a beautiful vessel that is carrying, that is stewarding this creative content that the divine is putting through you? And as a co-creator, your face plays a role in that connection people are going to make. So don't put it on your About Me tab. Like, it could be there, another picture of you, but it definitely front and center, the first thing people see is who you are. Who are they doing business with? Okay, rule number 2. Tell within the first 3 to 5 seconds on your website, we need to know who you serve, who's your target market, and what problems you help them solve in 3 to 5 seconds. This is a rule made very clear to me by Donald Miller in the work, The Story Brand of marketing advice, marketing tools. And it's talking about how we're not stupid as humans. Most of us are not. We're just busy and we have content coming out the ears when we're online. And so we need to be able in 3 to 5 seconds when we're on a website, in very simple language, he calls it the caveman test, 3 to 5 seconds, know who do you serve, what problem do you help them solve? And you might be thinking, but Meg, I solve so many problems. There's true. And those are probably under an umbrella of an overarching problem. So we're going to go to Tina Payne Bryson's website, psychotherapist, and you can see immediately, what does she do? She helps you, in shorter word from the place of syntax here, instead of saying parents, she said you, which I think there's lots of power in that actually in copywriting, going second person, helping you raise children who are happy, healthy, and fully themselves. So you know immediately who she is serving and what problem she's helping them to solve. Let's see here. So is that on your website? That little pitch of who you serve, be clear, what do you help them get? How do you help them solve? How does your work guide them? And then this next one, tip number 3, we're going to aim for 3 to 5 clear tabs. So not overwhelming them, putting them in categories. And for this one, I'm actually going to go to my website, even though it's kind of small. Actually, no, I'm going to show you first my, another one of my friends. It's probably very small on your phone, so I'm sorry about that. But one of my friends, and I earned a a scholarship with her 2 falls ago to do brand coaching. And in the studio story shop, it's a consignment store where when you pay, your money goes toward not only clothes or earrings for you, but it goes to coach female entrepreneurs. And so just by that alone, you can tell there's many different outlets and lots of things going on in this company. And so she made it very clear with her tabs, and she's using Squarespace, which I've heard is really great if you are selling something from your website, directly from your website. As I said that at the last video, I use WordPress for mine. So many great options out there. She uses, her tabs are home, about, shop, give back, contact, blog. So very simple. And when you go to these, they should drop down, but this is just a picture. So, but I'm going to take you to mine because I know there are other fellow authors in this group, spiritually tuned go-getters who are making content through blogs, books, podcasts, coaching. So my 3 tabs that Shannon from the website I just showed you that she coached me through creating, I have 3 tabs at the top, and they are books, and it drops down to my 2 books, and then my services. So in the services, you want to make it clear the things that you are providing for them. She usually says these things. I can't remember the exact wording of how she said it, but there was a reason that she had me do books in one, probably because that's my main thing. And then services, I put online courses, speaking, podcasts. So those all drop down. Books, services, and then under the About Me tab, I have a drop down of press and interviews. So this is anytime I was on a podcast or was, if you were in an online journal or in a newspaper, things to go here, obviously self-explanatory. I don't need to explain that to you. Press and interviews, testimonials. So very important. This is, as we talked about a few weeks back on marketing tips in one of the other videos, this is the idea of social proof. Customers want to see what other customers think about your work and how you help them. So in testimonials, I have pictures of the people who gave me a testimonial. And if they have a website, I embedded that hyperlink into their name. And so testimonials, reviews and thoughts, what people had to say about their experience working with me. And then lastly, under About Me, I have a bio and short little, I always do way more tips than I plan on. Sorry, guys. Okay, and under bio, this is something else that I've noticed a lot of people, great marketers doing, and I recently changed my bio for it. And that is that at the top of your bio, or About Me, the bio, there is a very, very short sentence long bio that tells who you are, what you do, and that little elevator pitch that comes up again. Who do you serve? What do you help them get? And so there's a very short bio at the top that someone could just copy and paste that if they needed it. Or they could keep on and they could use the whole thing, which is much longer. And you could head over to megcalvin.com to check that out more. But I've noticed that's a really good thing to do, because your website, as we're going to talk about in a minute, your website is not your social media accounts. And we're coming up to that because they're different. They need to be used differently. And so, yeah, I would highly encourage you to check out that bio, and you'll notice on others that are crushing it out there as content creators, as spiritually tuned go-getters, there's a short bio at the very top that someone could take and use, or they could use the whole thing as a long version. So and once again, that's also following the Donald Miller rule of 3 to 5 seconds. Am I clear on what you do and how you help me serve? Is the digitally scrolling eye able to figure that out in a short amount of time? Okay, so that was aimed for 3. Do not overwhelm people. A confused buyer never buys. And so cut it down to 3 to 5 tabs. I think before I did branding coaching, I had on my old website, I used to use Blogspot, and then my business coach advised I go over to WordPress, and because of the work that I do. But I think I had like 6 or 7 tabs, and it was overwhelming, and a confused buyer never buys. So getting it down to 3 to 5 clear tabs. Okay, next rule number 4. In 3 to 5 seconds, you also need to have a clear call to action button at the top of your website, whether someone's looking at the mobile version of your site or the computer version of your website. Have a clear call to action button. Give them something to do so they find out, they read your pitch. I help busy single dads make time for self-care, or whatever your pitch is. And then a clear call to action. Take this quiz to find out what your ideal self-care regimen is, or click here to see what opportunities are in your zip code, or click here. And usually it's awesome if that call to action button also gets that person on your mailing list, not from a spirit of solicitation, but from a space that you can keep on serving them. So a clear call to action tab. This is, I need to have George come talk to us on Tuesday night. I need to reach out to him. So this is a marketing expert that I have talked about for many times, and I've followed his work for the past 4 years. And again, we're seeing, obviously he's a professional marketer, so he does so many things right. He has his pitch, I know in 3 to 5 seconds, who he serves, and then the call to action button that he gives. Google's covering it up. I can't see it. Make sure that we're still going. Okay, let me see. I want to make sure our live feed's still going through. It is, good. Okay, so you have George's elevator pitch at the top, and then you can't see it because of Google. Darn it. I'm so sorry, friends. The Google toolbar here is hiding it. Oh, there it is. Good. Okay. There are 2 clear call to action. Of course, there's a play button that I can't help but notice. So I could push play and get to know him, that human touch again, make it human. And then underneath it has 2 clear call to action tabs. Do I want him to guide me in authentic marketing or joyful productivity? So within 3 to 5 seconds, I know I've connected with him on a human level. Overstatement, but there's a face there. I see his elevator pitch, who he serves, what results he helps them get. And then I also see clear call to action tabs. So that needs to be on your website at the top. Clear call to action tab. Okay, this is another one that they're all helpful. This one, a lot of people don't know the stats on this. And this is that give them all that they need without having to scroll down. They call this in the web design world to scroll beneath the fold. And so what I mean by that is 75% of people that come to look, and I can give you the place where I got that stat if you need to know. I'll put it in the comments because I love the research and I love giving credit where it's due. 75% of people who go to your website, they're never going to scroll down. They're never going to go beyond the fold. They're just going to see what's in the first screen grab worth of content. They'll never scroll down. And so give them everything they need to know. All these things I've talked about, they need to be at the very, very top of your website. Now, there has been some disagreement about this study because of these different varying sizes of screens on computers and tablets. And also, if you look at your analytics for your site, and you'll basically see that 85% or more of people viewing your website are seeing it on their phone. And so make it mobile friendly. So follow those 2 things at the same time. I think my website is so much prettier on a desktop than it is on a phone, but that's okay. it is what it is. I try to honor these rules of everything up top without having to scroll down that they need, that we talked about in the first 4 tips, and also make sure it looks really good on a phone too. Make it look professional on the mobile version. So this is a website of Tuesday night's guest coming on. She was an old seminary professor of mine, Kristin Anderson-Wolf. She's now a life coach, and she's coming to visit with us Tuesday night at our live session at 7 Central Standard Time. And here on her website, she really needs a face, her lovely face up here. Maybe I'll bring that up Tuesday night. But everything you need is at the top of her, and her full life, fully realized life coaching. And then she has some clean tabs. She's a guru at web design and online learning. She actually helped my seminary 20 years ago or plus when they were using AOL and with online learning, and they would send out cassette tapes and manila folders. So she's a beast in the online learning world. So I'm timid to critique her website, but she is doing a lot of things right in that everything that I need, I don't have to scroll down. And on the phone, I bet it shows up just as clear too. And she's also a photographer, and these are all her photos. And she has, unlike myself, she's very talented in the aesthetics and the visual arts. So just gorgeous website there, putting everything at the top. Okay, this is one that this last tip gets a lot of heat and a lot of disagreement. And that is this tip of keeping social media off of your website. Oh, this is really hard. Why do I say this? Because someone much better at this than me said it. So this is Marie Forleo. She's a life and business coach. Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. All I can say. And she has this beautiful rule that picture your website like your house that you own. You're doing a mortgage on it, it's yours. Whereas your social media, you're just renting space there. You don't have full attention of the guest when they're there, and you don't have a lot of power when they're on social media. But on your website, you have all the power in the world. If you put social media on your website, you're going to take people away to where they're much more distracted, and they most likely won't come back to your website. So have everything they need on your website. At the beginning of this video, I shared with you that I was going to tell you the big difference between a website and social media. You need both. You don't need all, like I talked about in a few videos, I think last Saturday's video, or last Sunday's video. Don't feel overwhelmed to be on all the social media platforms. Pick one. Do a little research, your demographic you're serving, what platform are they on? Choose one and communicate through it well. And the difference between your website and your social media accounts is this. Your website has evolved now to being a digital business card. That's what it is. People are going to go there to make sure you pass the competency check. So view your website as a digital business card. And then on social media, use that for your connecting and your marketing with people, connecting and marketing. And so don't expect people to dig around in your tabs to find out information. They're not going to. And so this is why the first 5 tips of this video, all those tips need to be at the top of your website so people don't have to scroll down. And as you start to look at all the big dogs that are crushing it in this field and are serving people and are providing for their family financially, you'll start to notice they are doing all of these tips that we talked about, and they're doing it really, really well. So that's a big thing that some people disagree with on, is this rule of keep social media off of your website. Keep them separate. Keep people on your website. You own that. It's yours. They're not distracted. Nothing can take them away. Give them what they need there. And so, check out Marie Forleo's work, obviously, because she's amazing. All right, and we talked about that. Your website is a digital business card. I also just said that. Don't expect folks to dig around in the tabs to make sure you pass the competency test with them at the top of your website and then the About Me website. And if you need help, under your About Me tab, under your bio, feel free to go over to my website and megcalvin.com to check that out, because there is George Ko is another one, that website I just shared. He has an amazing way of doing his bios that he gives you, literally spells it out for you. Short bio, medium, long. And so let me know how I can help you with that. Okay, and then we just said social media, use it for your marketing and connecting with people. And I believe those are kind of synonymous. Marketing is connecting. And so, and before we get to the questions, I'd like to invite everyone back here Tuesday night at 7 Central Standard Time. Sorry, Tim and other viewers, that's not a really good time for people who are not stateside. So, but I think you will love watching it later. Kristin Anderson-Wolf is a pastor, a former seminary professor. She's a life coach now. She's a digital native to the umpteenth degree and is simply phenomenal. And she's going to be here Tuesday night at 7 Central Standard Time to share with us about peace, patience, and productivity.